Music from the wrong side of the tracks. This is a show that drags you through the gritty alleys of sleaze rock, gutter glam, and all forms of dirty rock and roll. We're here to crank up the volume and dive deep into the dirtiest, sleaziest, most glamorous rock and roll out there. Whether it's the classics or the underground hits, we've got you covered. And now, here are your hosts, Andy and Gary.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Rock and Roll Gutter Podcast. I'm your host, Andy, and with me is my co-host, Gary.
Hey, peeps.
Thank you for joining us again. And in today's episode, we're going to discuss a couple of bands that have the word boy in their name. From New York City, we're going to discuss the Toilet Boys. And from the West Coast, from sunny California, we're going to discuss the band Motorcycle Boy. This is going to be another two-parter where I'll handle the portion of the episode on Motorcycle Boy, while my co-host Gary will be handling the story on Toilet Boy.
Oh, boy.
Motorcycle Boy was a band that formed in 1988 in Los Angeles, California. After singer-bassist Francois moved to sunny California after spending his formative years playing in bands in Spokane and Seattle's pre-grunge wasteland. Francois teamed up with boy toy / chick magnet drummer Kenny Toy, guitarist Michael Brooks. After a month-long drinking contest / audition, Swedish Johnny Thunder's disciple, guitarist Gilbert Avendette, joined the band. Gilbert was quickly gifted with the nickname Mr. Rat Boy because of his similar rat-like appearance.
How charming.
To the character of the movie Rat Boy.
Hey, did anybody ever tell you look like, what, Brad Pitt? Not exactly.
Close. Very close.
That's Mr. Rat Boy to you.
Mr. Rat Boy also stated that Francois would drag him around through the bars, and while flirting with girls, Francois would often ask, was Mr. Rat Boy cute enough to join the band Motorcycle Boy?
Is that all I need to get into this band, is a cute appearance?
No, attitude and a drinking ability helps quite a bit as well.
Oh, there you go. There's the talent portion. Could you imagine bringing the ugly one along so you have a better shot?
Right. Always improves your odds with the chicks.
Ladies, what do you think of Mr. Rat Boy?
Well, if you don't like him, take a look at me.
Very rat-esque.
Rather than becoming yet another Sunset Strip hair metal wannabe guitar wanking band, Motorcycle Boy brought their own unique style to the scene. They dressed in shabby chic back before shabby chic even existed.
Do you remember Melrose Avenue back during those days where the more beat up the article of clothing was, the more money you were going to spend for it?
Right, exactly. Seemed like it was a never-ending street of
I always thought
shops.
It would be great side business to both clothe the homeless, but you just put one of those little AirPod trackers sewn into the hem of the jeans and you make a deal with the homeless people. I want you to wear these nonstop for 6 months without washing them. We'll bring you back another brand new pair. You give us the old ones and we're going to take those straight to Macy's and sell them for $450 a pair. Why nobody's thought of this idea, I have no idea. Brilliant. Brilliant.
It's a hit. The band was extremely fashion conscious and wore nice suits, fancy shoes, and had killer hair because, this was the 80s and hair was a huge deal.
Wasn't killer hair a trauma release?
Right.
Watch out.
Almost as good as Frankenhooker.
Not a can of spray big enough to control this.
In fact, it's pretty common to see Francois' amazing hairdo mentioned just as often as the music when you read interviews and stories about the band.
The music, yeah, but that hair.
God damn, that's the hair.
Wayne Newton, eat your heart out.
The band played lots of hollow body guitars, and their music was part garage rock, part rockabilly, but pure attitude. You could compare them to the Cramps, but without the sci-fi lyrics and the out-of-tune guitars. And the band, they weren't technically great musicians, but what they lacked in musical ability, they made up for it with style and attitude.
50-50 equation. Fake it till you make it.
And Mr. Rat Boy, he brought a love of punk rock and early rock and roll to the band, and this really helped define their musical direction. In 1989, the band released their first 7-inch record through Flipside Records. This record contained the songs Feel It and One Punch, and it served as a great introduction to the band's sound. And from that debut 7-inch record, here's the song One Punch, featuring ripping, gritty guitars and unbridled lo-fi garage rock attitude.
I was born on a one-night stand, had no home and I wasn't planned. I've been jabbing ever since. Take a shot, I swear I won't even wince. It sucks. See them coming, I've seen them go. They hit me high, so I hit them low. Money bags, ain't no way you're gonna sell my soul. The one punch. I don't need your eyes to help me see. Stupid sandwiches in front of me. I hear the sound and I push on it. Listen up and get knocked with this. One punch. One punch. One punch. One punch.
The band quickly earned a reputation as a high-energy live band, and their club shows were kind of a bit of an event. They built up a pretty devoted following, and because of this, they were able to play shows all over Los Angeles, and they would even end up opening up for bands like Dogs D'Amour, L7, and the Nymphs.
I've heard of that band before, the Nymphs. Where have I heard that before?
Somewhere maybe in the past episodes of this show. And like most 80s Sunset Strip bands, Motorcycle Boy developed a reputation for their hard-partying, live fast, die young attitude.
Die young, leave a good-looking corpse.
There you go.
Well, unless, auto accident.
Given their circumstances.
You go riding with Vince Neil if your name is Razzle. But hey, no, never mind.
Yeah. Alice Cooper was an early fan, and he wanted the band to become his backing band for an upcoming tour. But the band showed up late to the audition, hungover, and missing a guitarist.
True rock and roll fashion.
Right. And more importantly, they hadn't bothered to learn any of Alice Cooper's songs.
Well, there is that, I'm sorry, Alice, but I don't know any of these songs. I've never heard School's Out. I've never heard Under My Wheels. I've never heard 18. I've never heard Elected. But,
Alice Cooper's pretty obscure.
Give me a couple of weeks and I'll get them nailed down.
The band claims that this happened because they were given no advance notice of the audition, and they were told to be at the audition within an hour, and they were recovering from drinking heavily the night before.
Behind the music. Cut to commercial.
In 1990, the band signed on with indie heavyweight label XXX Records, which was home to bands like Jane's Addiction and Social Distortion. When it came time to record the debut album, Mr. Ratboy had a chance encounter with former New York doll Sylvain, and this encounter led to Sylvain signing on to produce the album. Now, it's unclear how well Sylvain handled the production duties because legend has it that while Sylvain would be out of the studio, Mr. Ratboy would take this opportunity to harness the band into what one reviewer called a sleeker, more high-performance version of Motorcycle Boy.
Don't worry, lads. We'll fix it in the mix.
And this was before Pro Tools.
Well, we'll kind of fix it in the mix.
From Motorcycle Boys' one and only full-length album titled Popsicle, here's the song Get Around, which showcases Francois's vocals, razor-sharp guitars from Mr. Ratboy and Michael, and short but catchy songs that the band would become known for.
That's Mr. Ratboy to you.
Please forgive me, Mr. Ratboy.
Voici l'histoire de l'homme à la moto. Il a brisé beaucoup de cœurs et il a laissé que le bruit de son moteur. La 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 la. La la la.
The debut album is complete, but there were multiple delays in the record's release, and trouble started to brew in the Motorcycle Boy camp. As Mr. Ratboy explained, drinking and drugs had started to create some issues within the band and issues between the band members. And even if the record had been released on time, the band was certainly in no condition to go out on the road to support it. And at one notable show, singer Francois and drummer Kenny Toy got into a fistfight on stage in front of the crowd.
Always a good time.
Always. Unexpected, but always enjoyable.
Is that part of the act?
Well, this fight was the last straw for Ratboy. He grabbed his guitar and his little amplifier and headed out the door.
I'm going home.
Mr. Ratboy said that the fight lasted long enough that by the time he was loading his gear into a taxi, Francois was on the microphone trying to call the guitarist back to the stage.
Come on, I'm only fucking with you.
But Mr. Ratboy had had enough, and he was out of the band.
I'm going home.
And there's debate if he quit or was fired from the band, but it doesn't really matter. He was gone either way. When Popsicle was finally released, all of Mr. Ratboy's contributions had been taken over by Francois. The band's vision, the band's image, the songs, all remained. Despite Mr. Ratboy's contributions, he found himself listed merely as an additional musician in the liner notes.
Cold-blooded. Cold as ice.
From the album Popsicle, here is Motorcycle Boy performing the song Get Some, which features all the best qualities we appreciate from this band. Catchy hooks, raw rat-like guitars, echo chambery vibe vocals from Francois, and his magnificent hair.
I got a one trip on my mind.
Despite adding a new guitarist, Motorcycle Boy imploded shortly after the record's release. Francois still performs a few shows a year under the monocle of Motorcycle Boy, and apparently still has many devoted fans if you see footage on YouTube of the band performing. Guitarist Mr. Ratboy, well, he relocated to New York City, and he's had a pretty busy career with bands like Pillbox, who I definitely suggest you look for, Sour Jazz, which is a little more jazz-leaning music from him, and he also recorded and toured with the likes of Marky Ramone and Jeff Dahl. Guitarist Michael Brooks, well, he also recorded with Jeff Dahl, but he joined a local band here in Phoenix called the Beat Angels, which was a local glam-punk band that was pretty popular here for quite a while. No clue what happened to Mr. Kenny Toy. I assume he's still out there banging some chicks somewhere. But this is a short but sweet story of Motorcycle Boy. And I definitely recommend you look up that album, Popsicle. You can probably find it on all your favorite platforms. But it's just a really good monument from that era. A band that stood out a little bit. They didn't do the common Sunset Strip thing. They were their own little thing. And it really worked really well. So I highly recommend you reach out for that.
Short-lived, but well thought of, and find it if you can.
Left quite a notable contribution to the scene.
And the trash rock genre in general.
Correct. And now, heading into part 2, Mr. Gary, well, he'll be discussing the band out of New York, Toilet Boys.
Hey, welcome to part 2 of our episode. You just heard Andy wax on about Motorcycle Boy, who came from the West Coast. Now I'm going to take you 2,500 miles to the East Coast with another band with boys in the title. These are the infamous Toilet Boys. And the Toilet Boys are an American rock and roll band from New York City. That original lineup is made up of Miss Guy, whose real name is Guy Furrow, Sean Pierce, Electric Eddie, Rocket, and Adam Vomit. You think that Vomit is a family name? Is that a real name, Andy?
I think so, because there was a guy in the band Tex and the Horseheads, and his name was Smog Vomit, so they must be related.
I don't know. It would seem rather difficult to get a booking at a restaurant, Vomit, table of 4, Vomit, table... All right, Adam Vomit. Past members included Paul Rocks, Jimmy Grillo, Oliver Miller, and Mike Rubio. But the Toilet Boys are fronted by the gender-bending lead singer Miss Guy, who was the house DJ at the rock club Dawn Hills in New York City, and he formed the band in 1995. Well, their first show was as an opening act for Debbie Harry, and Miss Guy's intention was to fulfill a dream of playing a show with Debbie Harry, one of his idols, just for one night. So, I don't know, as the story goes, he put together a band specifically for this occasion, and it was only intended to be a one-time performance, but the reaction and the response was overwhelmingly positive, and apparently that led to future bookings and gigs, and within the next year and a half, the Toilet Boys lineup had solidified. And we're going to give you a little bit of taste of the Toilet Boys right now with a song titled The Party Starts Now. This comes crashing right out of the gate. You know exactly what you're going to get. I love the guitar tone and the attack of this, so here we go. The Party Starts Now from the Toilet Boys. They were legendary for their high-energy stage show, and it must have been crazy to see from the band's or the crowd's perspective as the band broke out smoke, lasers, strobes, showers of sparks, flame columns, cheerleaders, confetti cannons, burning guitars, and fire breathing performed by lead guitarist Sean during the finale. You can see some of these shenanigans on YouTube. There's a complete show in 2002 at the Casbah that's about 45 minutes long where you can see all of this that I just explained for your own eyes.
I highly recommended that you search that out. Definitely worth the time.
Yeah, it's quite a snapshot in time. It gives you an idea of exactly what the band was about. In an article with New York Rock titled "The Toilet Boys Set the House on Fire," written by Alice Hammond way back in 1999, she touches on the band's elaborate stage show by saying, "It seems the bands today rely merely on the music. They don't personify the whole image. They don't put on the whole stage show." To which the band replies, "Well, it's happening more and more. I think people pay a lot for tickets. They don't want to see dudes standing around looking like gas station attendants. They want to see a real rock and roll show. We want it to be fun. We're all performance oriented." Front person Miss Guy is quoted as saying, "I have always been into dressing up and wearing makeup. Anything that's sort of over the top, I have loved since a child. At Halloween, I always wanted to be an Indian or a pirate or a witch. Anything that involved makeup. I love Cher, Elton John, David Bowie, Kiss. Kiss was the first record I ever bought. They totally changed my life. I've always been fascinated by bands or artists who put on a show. With any band, it has to be natural. You can tell when it's forced. Not anyone can put on what I wear and pull it off, and I couldn't put on what other people wear and pull it off either. It has to come from within. I have always loved anything visual. I'm influenced by beautiful women. I loved Marilyn Monroe, Deborah Harry, Blondie, Nina Hagen. I knew I was never going to be in a band that wore street clothes. I've always wanted a spectacle." We're going to play a little bit of song 2 here for you right now. This song is called "Gimme Everything," which has a great vocal melody and supporting gang shout vocals in the back, which are always great and low key. So here it is, "Gimme Everything" from the Toilet Boys. This guy's androgynous style has been a catalyst in their rise to fame among fans and the press. And the band also states, "If I'm going out to see something, I want my rock stars to be rock stars. I don't want them to be the dude from down the block that works in the coffee shop. It's all part of building your show. It goes back to theater. You're on stage. And basically, we're just trying to play music that we want to hear. We try to blend the most extreme metal sounds with the most extreme pop sounds so that we get metal metalheads to like something that's poppier than they would have liked. We're not trying to force anyone to like the opposite, but to question what they think they're into. New York is such a rough place that in order to shine, you really have to do quite a big show to stand out from everybody else. And with bands like us, I think that is the case. You're seeing something that you've never seen before. One writer, who goes by the name Metal Dave, notes that New York Toilet Boys were a sleazy blend of transvestite vampire bikers meets Kiss and Blondie. Add a singer who was a boy that looked like a girl and answered to the name Miss Guy. That's confusing, eh? And you've got one of the more hell-bent for stardom Toilet Boys. Now we're going to play another song. This song is called Good Girl. It's a rather short song coming in at 2:06, so we're going to play this one in its entirety. And this one pays respects to the forerunners. It's New York Dolls, it's Dictators, it's Touch of Ramones. I love the campy vein of this song, and this puts the glam in glam. Here it is, Good Girl from the Toilet Boys. They toured the stages with many of their rock and roll heroes, including quite a list: Blondie, The Cramps, The Damned, The Ramones, Motorhead, Nashville Pussy, Orgy, Dee Dee Ramone, Joan Jett, The Donnas, to name a few, and played sold-out stadium as the opening act for the Red Hot Chili Peppers European tour. And their live show was hailed as nothing short of legendary, a pyrotechnic tour de force. Here's another song from the Toilet Boys. This possibly is my favorite Toilet Boys song out of them all. This one's titled Blue Halo, and this is thinly veiled power pop, which is always going to have a soft spot in my heart for power pop. I love the vocal melody. I love this song. There's so many hooks. Absolutely. Turn this one up. So many hooks musically and vocally. This is Blue Halo by the Toilet Boys.
Yeah, this is a really great song.
Elevate the distance till my halo's blue.
Ironically, speaking of that European tour by the Red Hot Chili Peppers that they were fronting, it was during this tour when the band got wind of a tragedy back in the States that 96 people perished at a Great White show due largely to pyrotechnics gone wrong. For the Toilet Boys, who has seen its own share of pyrotechnic chaos, well, they did set fire to the London Astoria at a sold-out show, prompting Q magazine to call it one of the top 10 worst rock and roll disasters under the Rolling Stones Altamont concert, which is saying something.
Yeah.
Well, that news really hit home. When the Toilet Boys returned to New York City, they were shocked to discover that federal agents had been asking New York City club owners about the Toilet Boys' legendary, literally explosive, and mostly unlicensed live show. Well, the Toilet Boys are on their own master plan entertainment label with no apparent tour support, no marketing budget. The prospect of doing a live show that they are normally accustomed to doing, well, that became an impossible reality. And that rather than tour with a half-baked, watered-down show, the boys did, I guess, the only honorable thing. They pulled the plug. Their last string of shows happened in front of 20,000 frantic Europeans. And like the aforementioned London gig, the Toilet Boys went out with a tremendous bang.
Guns a-blazing.
We're going to play you one last slice of the Toilet Boys right here. This song is titled Another Day in the Life. It's got a great guitar riff. This is one of the songs that they're most widely known for. I believe there's a couple of videos out there that you can find, and this may be one of them.
Yes.
But this is Another Day in the Life. Oh, by the way, all of these tracks, you can find them on your usual streaming platforms as usual. Most of the tracks that I've selected have come from a compilation disc called Rock and Roll Whores, Best of Toilet Boys Volume 1. Go out there and find it. And a couple of last tidbits here that I have on the band is they had their music featured in the box office smash movie American Pie Part 2. I don't know if that technically qualifies as a box office smash, but it's in the movie. They have somewhat of a discography. Their release dates start in 1996 and continues throughout 2007. They started off with Living Like a Millionaire EP, and other albums include Come and Get It, Saints and Sinners, self-titled Toilet Boys, a must-have, Live in London, and then I think in 2007, correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere around that time period, they released an album after reforming called Sex Music.
Correct.
Several of these were split singles with the Donnas and American Heartbreak, respectively. The band announced a temporary reunion in 2016 and released a two-part compilation, which I just mentioned, Rock and Roll Whores, The Best of the Toilet Boys Volume 1, and Nothing to Lose, The Best of the Toilet Boys Volume 2. They also did a single with Boy George titled The Last Breath of the World's Greatest Rock and Roll Love Affair. And in 2021, they did a vinyl release of their 2001 debut album. Another little bit of trivia information that's kind of weird is their self-titled full-length Toilet Boys album was released on September 11th, 2001. Guitarist Guy Pearce said that the Toilet Boys were supposed to leave on tour 2 days later to support the record, but their storage spot was very close to ground zero, and they couldn't even get to their equipment.
Oh, bad timing.
Timing is everything, is it not?
It is.
I think that pretty much wraps it up. One last thing is they've reformed several times. Individual band members have solo efforts or other projects that have been recorded. In New York circles, they're still considered legend in the New York punk glam scene and are fondly remembered. Also, Miss Guy is known as a rising star as a popular club DJ, or at least was back during the time period, credited for starting the New York City legendary club Squeeze Box, which became world famous for giving rock and roll back to New York. It was the place to be, where celebrities were dancing with everyone, and the stage was kingdom of rock stars, punky drag queens, and anybody in love with good old rock. To which Miss Guy replies, I started the night with a couple of friends, and it totally blew up beyond our wildest imagination. We wanted a fun night with good music and cute people. That was our main motivation. Not to make money or have it packed with celebrities, but we liked all that too. So there you have it. This is a brief encapsulation of the band Toilet Boys. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If I had to offer one final observation about this, and that's, I don't know who did the production on the drum sounds on this stuff. Very talented drummer, but fail in the drum production department. I don't know, man. That every song, that snare sounds like a fart in a mud puddle, I don't know. And I am a drummer. Andy is a bass player. We've shared stages together. Andy's a bassist. I am a drummer. I'm not saying this from a drummer's standpoint like you would think a drummer would, that I want the drums turned up in volume or moved to the front of the mix. But if you just could have sharpened the attack a little bit and sharpened that snare and put some thud into the kick drum so the kick drum didn't have to compete with the bass hogging up all the bottom end. Andy, you're a bass player. Can you tell me why do bass players always consistently hog the bottom end?
Because we're not allowed to hog the front end. That's the guitar player's job. They're the ones that get all the attention, all the adulation. We've got to find our mark somewhere in there. So we'll take it where we can.
Andy, we've shared stages together. I thought we were a team.
We are a team, but I'll rat you out in a second if I have to.
That's not an acceptable answer, Andy. And I would like to discuss this further after this episode is over in the courtyard, please.
Yeah, I think we might have to go a couple rounds of discussions.
I believe some fisticuffs are in order. Perhaps Queen of Markerberry rules. Marcus of Queensberry rules. I intend to give you a sound thrashing, my man. I said good day.
Good day, sir. How dare you?
Hey, thank you for sticking with us. If you've held on as long as you have through this insanity, thank you very much. We appreciate you all. Please continue to spread the word and give us a like. And thank you very much. Stay tuned for our next episode. And Andy, any final words?
We appreciate everybody joining us, hanging in there with us, and we promise to keep...
Parrot. Oh, parrot. Until next time, keep it trashy.
Take care. Keep it trashy. And to our fallen comrade, Mr. Mink, I think Pink Floyd said it best. Wish you were here. You're here in spirit, brother.
Godspeed, Mink, wherever you may be.
You've been listening to the Rock and Roll Gutter Podcast. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the dirty world of rock and roll. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving us a review on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps us reach more listeners like you.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Rock and Roll Gutter Podcast for all the latest updates, news, and more.
Got questions, comments, or suggestions for future episodes? Reach out to us at rnrguttermail@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
So join us again next time for another wild ride through the raw and gritty side of rock and roll. So until then, keep it trashy.